you very much. Let us be seated, please. The President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Her Excellency Professor Naana, the Chief of Staff, senior government officials, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, friends from the media. We are here to witness the swearing-in of newly appointed ministers of state by the President. The swearing-in ceremony of the ministers of state is in accordance with Article 78(1) of the 1992 Constitution. Now, before I invite the President to administer the oaths, let me quickly run through the ministers of state designates who are present here. First on the list is Honorable Dr. Edward Kofi Omanipoama, who is Minister. Now Honorable Linda Openewa Akwele Ukru is the Minister Designate for the Greater Accra Region. Honorable Dr. Frank Amwakohene is Minister Designate for the Ashanti Region. Honorable Rita Akosua Awate is the Eastern Regional Minister Designate. Next is Honorable Tia Ibrahim, who is the Northeast Regional Minister Designate. Honorable Akamugri Atanga Donatus is the Upper East Regional Minister Designate. And last but not least, Honorable James Gunu is the Volta Regional Minister Designate. Let me kindly remind you, ladies and gentlemen, that this is the third in the series of swearing-ins, and today we are swearing in 14 ministers designated. This is the highest number so far. May I now have the pleasure of inviting the President to administer the oaths. Now, the President will administer 3 different oaths. First is the oath of allegiance, followed by the oath of office, and finally the oath of secrecy. Mr. President, you may now administer the oath.
Thank you very much. I'll require you to be upstanding to take the oath of office. You can use whatever. You affirm? Okay. You can affirm or you can use any of the symbols that you want to swear on. Okay, so if you are using any of those, you say in the name of the Almighty God, and if you are affirming, you say solemnly affirm. Okay, so we'll start with the oath of a minister of state, and I'll mention I, and then you mention your name, and then we continue. So I, having been appointed Minister of State, do in the name of the Almighty God swear or solemnly affirm that I will at all times well and truly serve the Republic of Ghana in the office of Minister of State, and that I will uphold, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana as by law established. That I will, to the best of my judgment, at all times when required, freely give my counsel and advice for the good management of the public affairs of the Republic of Ghana, and that I will not directly or indirectly reveal any matters that shall come to my knowledge in the discharge of my duties and committed to my secrecy as Minister of State. So help me God, or I solemnly affirm, whichever. Okay, and we'll take the oath of allegiance. And again, you follow that order. I, do in the name of the Almighty God, swear that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Republic of Ghana as by law established, that I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of Ghana.
Pictures. Friends can also join. Thank you very much. So we now go through the same routine with Honorable Mohammed Mubarak Muntaka, Minister for the Interior. May I now invite the family of Honorable Muntaka to join him, the President and the Vice President. Thank you very much, Minister for the Interior. Honorable Emmanuel Nama, Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, will now receive his instrument of office from the President. Honorable Pro's family can now join him and the President and the Vice President. Thank you very much, Honorable Honorable Dr. Agnes Naana, Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection, will take the instrument of office. May her family join her now, please. Honorable Kenneth Gilbert Eji, Minister for Works, Housing and Water Resources, will now take his instrument of office. Honorable Kennedy's family can now join the President. President and the Vice President. Thank you very much. Honorable Emmanuel Opuku, Minister of State, Special Initiatives. Shall we now invite the family of Honorable Opuku to join himself, the President and the Vice President?
Hello.
Thank you very much. Honorable John Prof. Oti, Regional Minister, will now take his step. Honorable Dapon's family can now join him, the President and the Vice President. Thank you very much, and family. May I now invite Honorable Ali Adolf John, Northern Regional Minister, to take the photograph with His Excellency the President and the Vice President. Honorable Ali's family can now join in the photograph position. It is now the turn of Honorable Linda Opuku, Greater Accra Regional Minister. Honorable Prez family can now join you. Ashanti Regional Minister, will now receive his instrument. Shall we have the family of His Excellency the President and the Vice President? Honorable Rita Akosuya Awati, Eastern Regional Minister, will now take an instrument of office. May I now invite Honorable Awati's family to join in.
You did that the big phone call. What's all this? Hey yo.
It is now the turn of Honorable Tia Ibrahim, Northeast Regional Minister. I will have Honorable Ibrahim's family. Honorable Akamugri Atanga Donatus will now receive his instrument. May I invite Honorable Donatus' family to join the President and the Vice President. West, but certainly Northeast. His Honorable James Kunu, Volta Regional Minister. May I invite Honorable Kunu's family?
Like this, the chiefs go.
Thank you very much. Honorable Kuno, you need to sign the oath book. Sign the oath book. Thank you very much. I now have the singular pleasure of inviting President John Dramani Mahama to make some remarks.
Your Excellency the Vice President, Honorable Chief of Staff, senior officials of the Presidency, Ministers of State, distinguished invited guests, family and friends, ladies and gentlemen, friends of the media. Our quest to install the leanest and most efficient government in the history of the Fourth Republic continues unabated. We gathered here again today to take a step closer towards this objective with the swearing in of an additional batch of 14 Ministers of State. Since assuming office 3 weeks ago, I have been guided by one desire, and that is only to give the people of Ghana a government that is fit for purpose and is able to work in their best interest. Such a government must therefore naturally have men and women of proven ability and integrity. That's why it is fair to say that the persons who have taken up positions in this government have done so on merit and are well placed to deliver in the respective roles that they have been assigned. We're also guided by the need for fidelity and prudence in governance. Our recent history shows that there is no correlation between a large resource guzzling government and effective delivery. The last 8 years witnessed the largest government in our history, and yet that government achieved arguably the poorest of outcomes. That makes it imperative that we get it right going forward. The task of governing this country must be done more efficiently and at optimal cost. The bulk of our resources must be dedicated to meeting the needs of those on whose behalf we govern. In this regard, we have recalibrated various ministries to avoid the needless duplication and waste that existed. As President, I must set the right example and tone. In addition to substantial cuts in the number of ministries and ministers, there will also be significant reductions in the number of political appointees at the office of the President and its agencies. The era where hundreds of political activists were packed into the presidency for the sake of it is well and truly over. Thus far, 27 people have been nominated for appointment to the presidency to work in various capacities, and this includes the staff at the office of the Vice President. Out of the number, 13, representing 48%, are women. While additional hands will be brought in due course, the numbers will be nowhere near what we saw under the previous government. As I had cause to indicate at the last swearing-in of ministers, further attention will be given to increasing the number of women in subsequent appointments, so that the promise of 30% women participation overall in government can be realized. Today we swear in regional ministers and sector ministers. To the 8 regional ministers being sworn in today, I urge you to always remember that you represent the central government in your respective regions. You've been chosen for this position because of the leadership qualities you have exhibited over the years. Several of you were regional executive members of the NDC and therefore were the face of the party in our campaign in the just ended elections. This means that you're very conversant with the commitments we made to the people in your regions, and are expected to work closely and tirelessly to see those commitments fulfilled. Also being sworn in today are Ministers of State for the Interior, Defense, Gender, Children and Social Protection, Lands and Natural Resources, Works and Housing and Water Resources, and Minister of State for Special Initiatives. The Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection, Honorable Agnes Naana. As Gender Minister, you will be immediately confronted with a school feeding program that is riddled with debt, poor quality food, and chaotic implementation. The social protection sector is generally in distress, and you will have to fashion a way out of these challenges. For the Honorable Minister of the Interior, Honorable Muntaka Mubarak, you will have the responsibility for ensuring internal security in this country, and I know it is a task you will live up to. You will also have the responsibility of improving the welfare of our security agencies, especially in the area of housing and mobility. Dr. Edward Kofi Omane Boaman, it will fall on you as Minister for Defense to marshal our resources to defend the territorial integrity of Ghana in the face of new and emerging threats. With the upsurge in terrorist activity in our West African sub-region, you will have to dig deep to lead the effort to counter any such threats to our nation. Honorable Kofi Amaboa, As Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, you'll be charged with the duty of safeguarding the environment from marauding galamseyers and managing our natural resources effectively. Let me take this opportunity to state that it shall be the policy of this government to ban the issuance of leases for mining in all forest reserves. We shall also move promptly to revoke all leases issued for the same purpose under the previous government. In addition, let me state categorically that this government has not given any person or group of persons any authority to carry out any form of mining in these forest reserves as recently reported. I urge the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Minister for the Interior, Attorney General and Minister for Justice to take immediate steps to ensure the arrest and prosecution of any persons or group of persons engaged in this illegality. I also need to state here that no member of this government is permitted to engage in any form of small-scale mining or galamsey. Any such persons will face sanctions which shall be swift and severe. We intend to call a stakeholder consultation on the menace of galamsey to forge a broad consensus on the measures we intend to take to preserve our environment from wanton destruction. This will involve, but not limited to, the following: a river guard, which will employ youth from the communities affected by illegal mining, cleaning and eliminating toxic substances from our water bodies, reclaiming mined-out lands, training small-scale miners in sustainable mining practices. We've also begun the establishment of the Gold Board, which will ensure that Ghana gets the full benefit of the bountiful natural resource that God has blessed us with. To Mr. Kennedy, I remind you that you must lead the implementation of our manifesto offerings on social housing. The housing deficit and attendant prohibitive cost of rents and the long number of years that are demanded as rent advance remain some of this country's biggest problem, and you must get to work immediately to address it. With Mr. Emmanuel Adjekun, we will work closely together on the initiatives that we have put before us to achieve for the benefit of the people of Ghana. I have absolute confidence in you all, in your ability to get the job done. Let me also seize this opportunity to remind all of you of the admonition I have given to those who were sworn in earlier. You are in the offices you occupy now with the sole purpose of serving the people of Ghana, who are our employers. You are to accord them the respect at all times, bearing in mind that the power and authority that you exercise stems directly from them. Arrogance and disrespect are not desirable in this government, and you must exhibit humanity and modesty in your interactions with the public. Let me remind you that power is transient, and public office is a revolving door that can see you leave just as quickly as you came in. And let me sound biblical here. Go ye forth and put in your very best effort to help us reset this country and make it the Ghana we all want. I thank you for that.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for that rousing speech. Shall we all be seated? We are going to have one more round of photographs, this time with the President, Vice President, and senior government and party officials present. Shall I invite the senior and party officials present to join the President and the Vice President as the ministers take their turns for this photograph? Let me start with Honorable Dr. Edward Prof. The Minister for the Interior, Honorable Opuku. Honorable Dr. Naana. Honorable Kenneth Gilbert Eji. Honorable Emmanuel Bojo Ejokume. Honorable John Bojo Jack. Honorable Ali Adolf John. Honorable Linda Obenewa Akwele. Honorable Dr. Frank Amakwene. Honorable Rita Amosia Awati. Honorable Tia Ibrahim. Honorable Akamukri Atanga Donatus. Finally, Honorable James Kumo. Thank you very much. May I now invite Honorable Dr. Agnes Namulate to make brief remarks on behalf of her colleagues who have just been sworn in.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, Your Excellency, the Vice President, Professor Naana Opuku Ajiman, senior officials of the Presidency, colleague ministers, invited guests, the media. Let me begin by thanking the President for the confidence reposed in us at such a crucial time as this in the country's history. Your Excellency, we understand that it is not business as usual. Therefore, with the support and blessings of the many Ghanaians, we intend to discharge our duties in humility, honesty, and respect for all Ghanaians. Our pledge to you, Your Excellency, is that we're going to serve Ghanaians and we're going to support you, inspire hope, confidence, and patriotism as our commitment to reset Ghana on the path of growth and prosperity. Your Excellency, once again, we are grateful for this honor and we will support you to achieve this beautiful vision for our dear nation. On behalf of my colleagues and the many women of Ghana, we are grateful and we pledge our support to you.
Thank you very much, Honorable General Minister. Shall we rise as the national anthem is played? As His Excellency and the Vice President depart the hall. Thank you very much.
Hello.